7:03 on Friday, October the 4th. We're at 65 degrees now. A chance of isolated showers or storms late today. Highs near 80. Good morning. I'm Michelle Basch.
I'm John Domen, and the top local stories that we're following this hour. It's coming up on 30 years since a Fairfax County mother was killed while her 2-year-old daughter was in the next room. WTOP's Neil Augenstein says the man charged with the crime is now set to plead guilty later this morning.
37-year-old Robin Lawrence was stabbed to death in her West Springfield home while her husband was out of town. Her toddler was alone in the house until a friend discovered Lawrence's body. Last September, DNA analysis led to New York State and Stephen Smirk. In 1994, he was active duty Army, living at what's now Joint Base Meyer-Henderson Hall near Arlington Cemetery. Fairfax County Police say he confessed, telling detectives, "I knew I was going to kill somebody. I did not know who I was going to kill." And he said, "You guys know what I did. I know what I did. I cut her up pretty good." Court records show there's a plea hearing scheduled this morning for Stephen Smirk. Sources say he'll plead guilty to first-degree murder. Neil Augenstein, WTOP News.
Meanwhile, jury deliberations will continue today in the case of a former Fairfax County police officer charged in a deadly shooting. Wesley Shiflett is charged with involuntary manslaughter and reckless discharge of a firearm. The former police sergeant shot and killed Timothy Johnson, a suspected shoplifter, after a foot chase from the Tysons Corner Center Mall early last year. The defense argues that Shiflett fired his gun in self-defense, believing Johnson was reaching into his waistband for a weapon. But Johnson was unarmed, and prosecutors say Shiflett's actions were beyond what was reasonable.
The Washington Commanders are leading the NFC East, and fan excitement is building this weekend. It's the Cleveland Browns coming to town. They're not very good this year, and WTOP's Lynn Bowie's checking out ticket prices.
Kickoff Sunday is 1 p.m. at Northwest Stadium. The lowest price we found was through SeatGeek. Only $40 to sit in the upper level. Similar seats are almost double on StubHub and the NFL Ticket Exchange on Ticketmaster, about $70. If you want to splurge and get closer to the action, the best seats range from about $350 to $1,500 a ticket. Lynn Bowie, WTOP News.
We're learning more about the FBI informant who is key to the bribery case against D.C. Councilmember Trayon White. People familiar with the case tell the Washington Post it was D.C. contractor Eliu Kamara who White is accused of accepting $35,000 in cash bribes from. Newly unsealed court documents show Kamara pleaded guilty in August to charges he bribed an employee of the city's Child and Family Services Agency to get contracts and kickbacks. It's estimated Kamara could be sentenced to as many as 10 years in prison, but court documents show he agreed to cooperate with prosecutors who in turn would recommend that a judge go easy on him. The council member has pleaded not guilty and continues to run for re-election.
One of the most famous and celebrated rappers of all time is headed to our region, and we're hearing from him ahead of the show.
I didn't know that was going to be the first song on the album.
Ice Cube was the first rapper to be heard on NWA's iconic Straight Outta Compton album.
You know, you just wanted to cut through as a young, ferocious rapper.
He told Jason Fraley on the Beyond the Fame podcast that back in the 80s, many MCs from South Central and Compton were just rapping about life.
When we first came out, we called it reality rap. And then the industry coined it gangster rap. But at the end of the day, we was just talking about what we were seeing and going through.
Ice Cube will perform at the Hall at Live on October the 11th in Maryland, and it will be a journey from the NWA days to today, he says.
And really reminding people of my place in the game.
Mike Murillo, WTOP News.
Coming up on WTOP.
How much hybrid work has grown in D.C. in the past decade? I'm Jeff Claybaugh.
Traffic and weather in 30 seconds.